If any business is getting a competitive advantage out of using AI, whether that's fair, whether that's unfair, whether that's seemingly against regulations, I think they're going to use it.
Writing copies for an ad. Currently, GPT 4.0 can add DALI and use images also and write excellent copies for you. But companies have not yet tested those copies in the market, that how effective they are. If they are, the copywriters are out.
Actually, there will be a lot of jobs that will be taken by AI, and only the strategic decision making will be left with the human being.
We are evolving as a society is the right thing and the right way to go. But what the machines are doing are not the right way, and that will create a problem which might not lead to a reconciliation.
Artificial intelligence and its implication on our lives and careers has not only troubled media, but also tech enthusiasts and social scientists. But have you ever wondered, what do students feel about this technology? Do they feel threatened by it? Or do they feel it's an essential component of our ecosystems today? My name is Abhinav Trivedi, and in this special edition of Alt View, we are at IMT Ghaziabad. And let's go and talk to some students and understand their perspectives, not the artificial one, the real one, on this form of intelligence which calls itself artificial. Let's go and find out. AI, artificial intelligence, tricky subject. That's how we get to the bottom of it. Hello, IMT Ghaziabad. Hello. How are you guys? Great. How's the Josh? Hi, okay, guys. So today we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and its impact on jobs, careers, profession, whatever you might deem fit. Now, apart from you guys, I've got Ankur Arora. He's the Karta Dharta of artificial intelligence at MasterCard.
So I started MasterCard about like 10 years back. And I started like 5 years back setting up the AI center for MasterCard. I've done my PhD from Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore. And after that, for 10 years, I've been working with MasterCard.
Tomorrow, if any of you wake up and you have got an extremely smart robot who looks exactly like you and can do almost anything you can do, going forward, will you be scared or excited?
Take this really positively, because whatever task that I need to do, I'll be able to do it in a better way.
If I could control it, I will definitely be excited. I will send him to all my early morning lectures so that I can sleep more.
If it's creating resources for me, then I will accept it. If it's competing with me for the resources, then I won't.
It's actually a bit of both, because I'll be excited because, there's someone to do all of my work. But then I would also be scared because Skynet has taken over.
Excited because my curiosity will definitely take me over, and there's a robot in front of me and looks just like me and can do my task. I'll definitely push it to its limits.
Guys, we all have been hearing about artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and the other alter egos of AI. If I have to ask honestly, what do you think about AI? How do you define artificial intelligence? And do you feel threatened by it by any chance? Because with every day, there's new theory emerging about what AI can and cannot do.
Like any other controversial topic, it also has its pros and cons. So it will aid lots of the work that we do. It will also act as a challenge for the people because of the employment angle that's there. So AI will definitely take few of the job. It will also increase the productivity of the work that we'll do in different industries.
So you're saying technologically obsolete people will have more problem.
One who will not upskill, who will not keep them updated with the latest technologies and how they can implement in their decision making process, so they will suffer the most.
AI is something that is made to be used by us. Okay. And whether we want to use it or extensively, so that like removing jobs permanently, then there is reason that we should feel threatened.
The point of being threatened, I don't think there is any need to be threatened by AI, because eventually AI is a tool and you need people to use that tool to do stuff. The nature of jobs would change and maybe some jobs go redundant. Technology has always been doing that. Like email, some or the other way took away the job of a postman. So that has been happening, but it created many other jobs. Similar thing would be done by AI.
Creative people like designers, artists and also authors are constantly targeting ChatGPT and tools like that support creation through AI. So they feel threatened. Their research and their skill is now being challenged directly by a machine that is running on an algorithm and doing their job and taking away the money. Also, research firms that publish articles and sells for many $1,000s feel challenged because at the end, if GPT can scroll through all and creep through their pages and give a output in just 1 second, their entire business model gets disrupted.
Why does your chashma look like Tony Stark's Edith? Did you deliberately wear this because AI?
I'm following Tony Stark's.
Okay, Ankur, I'll come to you. You saw what these students answered. Now, AI is an ever-evolving tool, for the lack of better word. And like these students said, that it will create more employment, create more jobs. What do you think of it?
Yeah, so I think it is similar to like what we had like a Word, right? Word, or we talk about Excel, right? So I think what will happen is that we'll become far more productive than what we were before, right? So it definitely is a problem for people who are not willing to be so much productive, right? Because there will be a certain set of people who will lose jobs, and there will be a certain set of people who will earn 10x, 100x, right? So that's the challenge that it will bring in.
Now, you guys mentioned that people who will evolve will eventually not become obsolete even as AI evolves. But we are living in a far more complex world than we did almost a decade ago. Geopolitics, we've all heard how, AI is taking over writers' job in US. Okay, there are people protesting, and every day we are coming to know more aspects of AI, an aspect which we had never heard of before. So do you think humanly it's possible? I mean, you guys are young right now. What's the average age here? 24, 25? So you're largely on the younger side of life. But as you grow, your ability to evolve also goes down. So the point is that it's very good to say that, one who doesn't keep up with pace with the technology eventually falls behind. But do you think it's humanly possible for us to compete or even stand at the same level as machines?
Algorithm has an extent to which they are becoming viable in our working complex environment, and I think after AI is being used for what? It's to speed up our work, right? But to interpret and to measure if the AI is delivering what we actually require from that is, I think, that's to human beings. So I think somewhere the competition between AI and human beings, that is being taken to a different level, that is being measured on a wrong scale.
I think AI can do the jobs repetitive job more easily, and it can do the job at a much faster pace. But at the end of the day, we are the one who are actually guiding AI.
While AI can obviously replicate almost everything that humans do, if there is one element that still it wouldn't be replicated, that's the human touch that is required for certain jobs, because you simply can't replicate a human judgment and the skills that the human mind can possibly perform.
Actually, there will be a lot of jobs that will be taken by AI, and only the strategic decision making will be left with the human beings. For example, there is an investment banker who is looking at the equity reports. So actually, if you have used ChatGPT, it can do equity analysis for you. It can give you all the ratios and everything, whatever the junior analyst was doing a year ago or 6 months ago. So I guess the investment banker on his own can produce those reports, those analysis, and only the decision making will be left to him.
Ankur, you understood their perspectives. Now, where do you think are they safe in the assumptions they're making?
I think they're thinking in the right direction. So if you think about as a human being, right, we were always were accustomed to doing some creative works, right? But all this manual task came into our being, and we had to do a lot of these tasks. So now what will happen is that man will actually go back to his other thing and do more creative things, like maybe read literature, read history. Those things will be like not be replicable by AI, right? But other manual tasks, anything that is software engineering, all of these things will be done by AI.
When we say about evolving skills, maybe reading history, why calculator was invented? So that complex calculations can be left to the calculator, and humans can eventually evolve to maybe better jobs, quote unquote. This is also an ever evolving technology and field. And in today's time, when there is not so much impact of AI on our daily lives, we still have joblessness, we still have mental health issues, we still get impacted by low salaries, low incomes, and more demanding works, and people not able to balance their passion and work or vice versa, we still are facing those issues. Won't the impact of AI be much more than what it is right now?
We have been hearing a lot about moonlighting, 4-day week. Germany has just started experimenting it, and we are also seeing a lot spoken about gig working. So people who really want that work-life balance can actually use AI as an essential tool and then cut off their workload. Or if you are trying to create multiple sources of income, AI is the place to be in. Rather than saying that it's going to pose a challenge to you, it is actually opening the doors and avenues for even more business opportunities and work. So I can be working at Infosys for 3 days, and the next 2 days I'm working at a bank and helping them create solutions.
The way you spoke, like humans feel emotions and they feel mental illness and all. Isn't that what actually makes us humans and differentiates us from AI? Like, if we stop feeling those emotions only, then what is the difference between us and AI? So, and this is what helps us in the evolution only.
But there are other things as well. Apart from these traits, jealousy, lack of self-esteem, insecurity. Machines don't have that. Are you understanding when I'm trying to take this, which direction I'm taking this conversation?
So when it comes to taking decisions, so earlier in the, usually when an algorithm is built for an AI, you usually feed the information needed for it to give out the decision you made. But the decision was already made by a human only. So whatever you feed into the algorithm, that is what is actually turning out as the result you want. So when you talked here, then you talked about the jealousy or the biasness which falls into. So if there is no human involvement given feeding the information into the AI, so yeah, and it is true that you can avoid the biasness. But again, if there is no information fed into the algorithm, it actually doesn't add any impact to us. So that is what.
If I could just add another layer to that discussion, I think when we look at AI currently, we look at it as a tool that's going to solve everything. It's not that. Your AI is working on the information that you're feeding it mostly. There were instances in the US where the AI was fed information about a particular job profile. It was used to filter out candidates. And ultimately, the kind of candidates it filtered out were all white. Because the kind of biasness that you're feeding into the algorithm is also going to play a role. So saying that even in case of AI, unless an AI becomes capable of thinking, I don't think that room for biasness is completely eliminated.
So what he's saying is that the bias element is added by humans. Unless the machines become self-creating their own intelligence, there's never going to be an element of, a clash between both the species.
I think machines are also going to learn maybe there will be some biases, but machines eventually are learning on the data, right? So they will also learn all the biases and they will actually behave as what human being does, right? It's a matter of just time. In couple of years, 5 years, it's going to change. It's going to learn that also, because for it, all the data inputs are there.
Have you guys heard about this development at Meta a couple of years ago, where a robot started creating their own language and they had to shut it down? Where do you think that places us as a species? Not only in terms of jobs, not only in terms of career, but in terms of existence.
I believe society as a whole is a fluid concept. It's evolving with time. And if robots and machines are given a self-critical part in which they can think of their own and make decisions of their own, the point comes that there might be a moment in history where there might be a divergence between what we think as evolving species, what's ethical and what is right, and what the machines think what is ethical and what is right. And there might not be a reconciliation between these two, which will lead to problem, because we as a species might think that what we are evolving as a society is the right thing and the right way to go, but what the machines are doing are not the right way, and that would create a problem which might not lead to a reconciliation.
That if I talk about the safety of humans as a whole, so it is very important to draw a line that what we want AI to achieve and what it is currently doing. So that is what I'm saying, that policies like government intervention is very much needed.
Human beings, we come with culture, we come with a lot of civilization, a lot of history. So we have the ability to create opinions, recreate opinions. We can do that again and again. I think machines, technologies, they have been evolving, but they evolve on the basis of data, on the basis of facts and figures. I think they create opinions and then they are stuck on it, and if they want to recreate, it's again another layer of evolution that goes through that. So if we were to say that machines having their own ability to create, to recreate themselves, I think that would be on the basis of not human aspect, not the human touch, not the history and civilization that we are backed with. So I think that would somewhat create a clash.
Do you think machines should be left to decide which job is strategic, or should that be at least controlled by humans?
People will try using AI for doing different kinds of job. If they get the necessary results through that AI, the person doing that job will become jobless. It will take sufficient time. For example, writing copies for an ad. Currently, GPT 4.0 can add DALI and use images also and write excellent copies for you. But companies have not yet tested those copies in the market, that how effective they are. If they are, the copywriters are out. But if they are not, they have to go back to the copywriters itself. So it will be a trial and error, which will take enough time to bring results, I believe.
How strong do you feel is regulation of AI in our world? And going forward, do you have any suggestions so that it does not disturb human peace?
I think when a piece of technology is new, there is realistically no place for prudence. If I could take a slightly controversial opinion, I think currently our economies are based on competition. If any business is getting a competitive advantage out of using AI, whether that's fair, whether that's unfair, whether that's seemingly against regulations, I think they're going to use it. And ultimately, I think regulation is a thing that is accomplished by trial and error. I think their social media giants have been around for years, and yet, like you mentioned, their regulation is still under question. What content to remove, what content not to remove. I think a tool that's as new as generative AI, it's going to take a long time to, for us to draw a line.
Whenever a new regulation or new technology is introduced, we don't know its limitation.
Okay.
So human exploit it, go towards the boundaries, and if it causes harm to the others, then only we put certain regulations over it. So now, since AI is a new technology, people will only, if it harms others, then only government will come forward and put some regulations.
Okay.
Unless and until
so we need to wait till the harm is done.
Yes, we will have to see.
I would say the harm is already being done, and with the likes of deepfakes, the recent case we saw in the media that was really highlighted. So deepfakes, as they are causing problem, so the government is starting to regulate them. So I guess as the problems will evolve, the regulations will evolve.
Artificial intelligence is here to stay, but when it comes to survival, along with the robots per se, the students feel that there is a competition and regulation will eventually come into place. But as of now, there is no threat. This is all from this episode of AltView. I, along with my team, shall see you in the next episode with another college, with another topic. Shabba khair.